There is perhaps no greater illustration of the high stakes involved in Australia's big-money federal political system than the careers of soon-to-be ex-Senator Sam Dastyari and his former Labor Party colleague Eric Rosedale. Each climbed to the top of the pile to become General Secretary of the New South Wales Labor Party, one of the most powerful political jobs in the country. Yet while a humiliated Senator Dastyari fell on his sword on Tuesday over his associations with Chinese-Australian businessman Huang Xiaogmo, Mr. Rosedale rejoices in the title of CEO of Yuhu Group, Mr. Huang's Sydney-based property development company. When Fairfax Media first reported in 2014 that Mr. Rosedale, a former New South Wales Treasurer, had joined Yuhu, the hire was explained by the company as a way to navigate Australian politics. The story disclosed that 2 months before he quit the New South Wales Upper House in May 2013, Mr. Rosedale had travelled to China at the invitation of Mr. Huang to tour some of Yuhu's projects. After the inspection, Eric expressed that he would promote international communication and cooperation between Yuhu Group and Australia government, the company's website stated at the time. By the time the company had been donating hundreds of thousands of dollars to the New South Wales ALP and the Liberal Party, while Senator Dastyari was New South Wales Labor General Secretary, the top fundraising job at Sussex Street. The root of Senator Dastyari's undoing was arguably accepting Mr. Huang's offer to pay a $5,000 personal debt incurred while General Secretary. It was exacerbated by his decision, while a senator, to approach another Chinese businessman donor to cover a $1,600 overspend on his travel budget. The transactions show Mr. Dastyari was wont to treat donors like a personal ATM, likely a hangover from his days as General Secretary soliciting much larger amounts from all manner of business people. But more importantly, they give credence to later claims that he acted the way he did, speaking against ALP policy on the South China Sea and allegedly tipping off Mr. Huang to possible Australian intelligence agency surveillance, because he owed them. Not because of the relatively paltry sums settling personal debts, but due to the enormous donations to the New South Wales ALP that allowed him as General Secretary to fight election campaigns. For donors, forming relationships with those who hold the most powerful positions in Australian politics is just good business. As Mr. Rosedale's experience shows, their apparent usefulness continues in post-political life. On the coalition side, look at former New South Wales Deputy Premier Andrew Stoner, a former State Trade Minister, who took on an advisory role with Yuhu. It's not just foreign players. Mark Arbib, another former Senator and New South Wales Labor General Secretary, went to work for James Packer's Crown. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull has announced laws to curb foreign influence, including a ban on foreign donations. While it's a start, it is missing, possibly deliberately, the bigger picture. While the system continues to allow political parties to accept millions of dollars in donations from local business people seeking influence, the concerns that brought down Senator Dastyari will remain.